Boone-Apache Public Schools, as well as the RISE program for the Wichita and affiliated tribes, for being interested in us come share our story with you guys. When they initially approached me about coming to speak, they asked me to speak for 45 minutes to an hour, and that's not something that I really wanted to do by myself. So the first person I thought of that could come help me is my friend TJ here, because his story is so impactful and powerful. You can just listen to it and learn from it. We're just going to start by telling our story. You know, and in order to do that, we have to be completely transparent. The good, the bad, the ugly, just everything that comes with it. So some of it's not going to be popular opinion, but in order to stay true to ourselves and our stories, we're going to have to give you everything that we can over the next 30 minutes to an hour. Thank you.
All right, so I'll go ahead and begin. My name is TJ Williams. I graduated in the class of 2008, and I'd like to begin with a little brief summary of my upbringing and my childhood. I grew up in a family that was a his, mine, and ours situation, kind of like the Brady Bunch. You know, it was me and my dad. I always looked up to my dad as being my hero. He kind of got me jump-started early on in life with sports, you know, basketball, football, baseball. I mean, we're named after the famous baseball player Ted Williams, so I guess, you know, if the shoe fits, then go ahead and do your thing. And then he remarried because him and my mom were kind of toxic for each other. They were together, I believe, like 17 years. They had 3 kids. So whenever he remarried my stepmom, who would eventually be a teacher here in Apache, she brought her 3 kids into the relationship. I had 2 stepbrothers that were 2 4 years older than me, and then my oldest stepsister, Brenna. And then together they had my little sister, Lena, and we're roughly like 6 to 7 years apart. So growing up, you know, since my stepmom was a teacher, I was here all the time with her. You know, grew up running up and down the halls. You know, just was really involved in school. I feel like I was always on my P's and Q's throughout school and was labeled kind of like a quote-unquote good kid. Because I knew if I got out of line, by the end of the day, she would know about it. And then I knew later on that night, my dad got home from work. He'd lay down the long arm of the law because, you know, man of the house, gotta set the tone, your kids get out of line, you're gonna be held responsible for what you did. So, you know, at the time I thought my parents were real rough, real strict, had a lot of rules to make the flow of the house go smoothly, you know, with 5 kids in the house. You know, we all had chores, we had to take care of our things because money didn't grow on trees. You know, both of our parents worked really hard. And that's kind of where I feel like I had that structure in my life that kept me going down a right path. And all through school, you know, growing up with my stepbrothers and sisters, they were Christians, and they kind of introduced me to going to church, going to Falls Creek in the summertime, and I believe it was around like 5th or 6th grade whenever I gave my life over to Christ, asked him to be my Lord and Savior, and from then on, that was kind of my identity, you know, on top of, you know, being a ball player and playing basketball all through school. My summer times were church, going to basketball camps, and, you know, just being a kid, you know, playing outside, doing the kid thing. And that's just a little brief summary of my upbringing and my childhood.
So I'd like to start with my story from the time I was about 2 years old. At the time, I lived in Anadarko, Oklahoma with my mom and my older brother. And, you know, I had a pretty cushy life at that point. Didn't have to worry about much. You know, she wiped my butt for me, everything like that. So thanks, Mom. And it also was around that time that my dad was sentenced to prison for murder. And that left us all in a weird state. You know, I was only 2 years old, so I didn't really know what was going on at the time. But as I grew up and progressed, I definitely seen the impact that that had on me and my family. When it first happened, my mom was left with two young boys that she had to figure out a way to provide for them. And so what she decided to do was join the military. And of course, you all know when you're active duty military, that entails that you're gonna have to move around a lot. So pretty much starting first, second grade, we were on a constant move, never really got to get settled in anywhere, always had to start over, coming in and out of Apache periodically. Just experiencing a lot of things that I wouldn't say is optimal for children of that age to have to experience, but my mom tried to keep the environment as stable as possible. But there were times, we had to wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning, go across the city in Washington, D.C. and catch the bus with her because she had to take us to work with her while she did her 12-hour shifts. I remember sitting with her while she was trying to get her college degree throughout her classes because she didn't have anything to do with it or anywhere for us to go. And then we moved back funny story first. My first bad decision, we're going to get into that later. I made a lot of bad decisions in my life, but my first one was when we were there. It was when the new Star Wars movie came out, Star Wars Episode 3, and I really wanted one of the action figures because me and my friends collected them. And the new Yoda toy was just released. So of course I asked my mom to get it for me. She said no. So me and my buddy took it upon ourselves to get on our bikes, right up the street to the Toys R Us. We went in there, thought we was being slick, I guess. We went in the back, opened it up, put it in our underwear, and started making our way to the door. We thought we was gonna make it. And right before we got out, one of the security guards, stepped over, stopped us. I think I was in the 3rd grade at the time, and pulled us in the security office, called our parents, and while we was waiting, he did the typical scare tactic, like calling the cops, this, that, and the third, and then my mom gets there, and long story short, I got banned from Toys R Us for 3 years, in the 3rd grade. I like to make the joke that I'm still here and Toys R Us isn't, because none of business. But, we moved around, we came back, we had to get dropped off at people's houses here, that way we could walk to work, or walk to school. So, Miss Bain, Janie Bain, we had to go to her house quite a bit so she could bring us to work or school, because my mom had to go to work. Just a bunch of instability in a world that she tried to make stable as much as possible. And then I moved back to Apache for the last time my sophomore year, halfway through my sophomore year, and that's in 2008, the banner that I just spoke about. And my experience with Apache is bittersweet, a lot of good, a lot of bad. And Miss Springer, Coach Bates, just came up to me a while ago and said, I hope you tell them how bad you were, because I was pretty bad, but I was never really seen as a model student, so to speak, like TJ was. That was due a lot to my upbringing, my decisions, and also some external stuff. I was subject to a lot of prejudice and things of that nature. I remember my first relationship, I was actually on the phone with them, and then they had to leave, and they came back on, basically had to break up with me because the parents didn't like the fact that I was black. There were times, one time specifically, where I was called a coon by faculty here at the school, and a running joke every day when I walked in, like this is the stuff that's behind the scenes, they just seen that I was bad and they didn't see the stuff behind the scenes. I'd walk into school 8 a.m. and first person that seen me would throw something at me and they say, excuse my language, but Brian, the nigger's got a gun. They thought it was funny, but it's not really that funny. And if anybody here is going through that type of stuff, that's only temporary. Because once you get out in the real world and you're able to make decisions on your own and not be subject to that type of stuff, that's all that matters at that point in time. But also in high school, I wasn't a model student. I got B's, C's, didn't go to class as much as I should, got a lot of detentions, in-school suspension. I think I got suspended one time for the bad decisions that I was making. And it was around my junior year that I started drinking. It was pretty common at school at the time. We went backroading. We went to the spot, uptown, falls, typical stuff. And that was the start for the bad decisions that I was making that were going to eventually rest of my life. And if you ask TJ, you know, he's an all-state basketball player, pretty much loved by the community, did exactly what he was supposed to do, kept his nose clean. Those are two very different perspectives of high school due to many different factors.
All right, so to begin the next stage of life that I'm not particularly fond of, like Gage said, I was an all-state basketball player. I excelled in basketball, and I had some scholarship offers, but nothing eye-popping, no full ride offers. These schools were, in the Panhandle, in Muskogee, schools that were pretty far distant, and just life kind of smacked me in the face, and I kind of realized how expensive school was going to be. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to play college basketball. That was always my hopes and dreams. And so I had a good friend that was, 3 years older than me, Callan. He was playing at Cameron, and he's like, "Hey man, I got you a tryout, come try out. I know you can make it, we'll play together, let's see how good we work." So I went to the tryout, killed it, did a really good job. They accepted me as a walk-on, but as a walk-on, you don't get anything paid for, not even books, no tuition. So I had to feed myself, and I had moved in with my mom at the time, and she worked shift work out at Goodyear just like my dad, along with my stepdad as well. And trying to weigh school, early morning workouts, practice after school was over with, and then you had your team study at night. I tried to make it work for a month and a half, 2 months, and it just became too much. I became overwhelmed. Told the coaches I pretty much wasn't going to be able to do this without any financial help. So kind of right there, I kind of lost my identity in who I thought I was. Growing up being a ball player, and got pretty much a full-time job working in the middle of the mall at Lids. It's kind of a joke in our house right now. My wife always says, "Yeah, I really didn't know if I was going to marry you." Me and my girlfriend's always said, "Yeah, TJ, keep the guy at Lids, just joking around or whatever." But I think working in the mall, seeing a lot of people on a regular basis, and just being in college and introduced to a lot of things, I really lost my other true identity, which was a Christian. And I always said I was a Christian through college, and I hate to be that outside eye looking in because I didn't set a good example whatsoever. And kind of during that time, growing up through school and into my senior year, me and Gage's brothers were running buddies. He's one of my best friends. And when Gage got here his senior year, Dre would always be like, "Man, you can't talk to my brother. You can't be friends with him." I was like, "All right, whatever." So me and Gage really weren't that close, towards the second half of my senior year. But in college, whenever he was in high school, me and him became neck and neck. Since Dre had moved away and was in college and then moved back, and all three of us hung out and stuff, was drinking a lot, partying, just making a lot of bad decisions that honestly I never thought I would do. And like I said, this is part of my life that I'm really not happy about or proud about, but it is my story, and I believe I should share it so that many of you may not make some of the same decisions that I did. And Gage, being a senior in school and kind of trying to get his bearings together and figure out what his plan was going to be, after high school, and coming up to the mall, hanging out with me whenever we get out of class and stuff. Just being in the mall, seeing the recruiters walk by every day. I always tell they were young guys like me. They had a little money in their pocket. They were going to school. So I talked with them as they were passing by, and I kind of started to relay that along to Gage, and we both had just come together like, "Hey man, let's do the buddy system. Let's do this together." I feel like we're in pretty decent shape. We're young. The benefits are great. We get our schooling paid for. Possibly get to see a little bit of the world. So we went in on the buddy system, joined the Air Force. He got a job as a firefighter, and I got a job as security police. And during this time frame, that's whenever I kind of met my wife. And I was kind of in a weird transition period where they really didn't want me to start school because whenever I got the call to go to basic, get your bags and go that day. So I kind of went like 3 or 4 months without a job, or with a job and not going to school or anything. And it was during that time that I met my wife. And it sounds kind of cliche, but when I met her, I was like, man, like I really think I'm going to marry this woman. And a lot of people were like, man, you're just crazy, quit talking insane, she's puppy love, whatever. But here I am 8 years later, still married to the same woman. So that's kind of where I want to pass it off to him. And Gage is going to talk about his military experience and just the recruiting process and him going over to Italy.
Yeah, so it was around the same time TJ got stationed in Montana for his first duty station, and I got sent to Italy. And I just gave you guys kind of a glimpse of the decisions that I was making at that time. Drinking, partying, back road, and all that. I wasn't in a place to be going overseas where the drinking age was 16 for beer and wine and 18 for liquor. So my bad decision tendencies kind of just snowballed once I got over there. So I get over there and I'm making bad decision after bad decision. I'm given opportunity after opportunity while I'm over there. From throwing furniture off a third-story balcony to peeing on an ATM and wrecking my car. I did so much bad things while I was over there, and I was given opportunity after opportunity because of my work ethic was so good on duty. I was in front of the base commander more times than I would like to remember, but that's just the truth of the matter. And I've never once hid from my decisions because stuff that I've done, I kind of wear it as a badge of honor now because without that I wouldn't be where I am today. I remember the last interaction I had with the base commander. I'm standing at full attention in front of his desk. He's reading me my discharge, and the last thing he says to me, he's like, "Airman Boardingham, what are you going to do when you get home?" So I go back to him and said, I'm going to become a pharmacist. That's the whole reason I joined the military. And his response to that was, well, based off your test scores and your academic results, I don't doubt you can do it academically, but the way you are in your private time, the way you are off duty, that'll never allow you to become a pharmacist. And I left that meeting that day with no animosity, because I was there for my decisions. I always do that. I never blame anyone throughout life for anything that I've done to myself. And today I'm actually kind of grateful for those words because it was my wake-up moment. And the focus of today's speech, for me anyways, is your one wake-up moment. Because most people throughout life, they'll experience some sort of moment that just opens their eyes and makes them realize, there's more out there to be done, or it's too late. I was fortunate enough for my one wake-up moment that I was still able to get discharged in a good standing. I didn't have any criminal record or anything like that, so I got away kind of scot-free. But your one bad decision or your one wake-up moment, you might not get away scot-free. You could ruin the rest of your life, any plans you may have had, or you might end up in the ground. So just really think about what you're going to do if you do experience that wake-up moment and how you're going to overcome it.
Alright, so I'm going to go to the next stage of my life. I went to basic training in San Antonio, and then after my basic, I learned my job, which was security forces, typical law enforcement, security management, and I was in San Antonio for that as well. And it was during that time that my wife would come visit me every other weekend during my training, because it was pretty much like college, normal 9 to 5, through Monday through Friday. It was free time, and then on the weekends you're free to go, you go off base. And during that time, me and my wife decided to get married. I remember sitting in the BX food court and proposing to her over Dr. Pepper and pepperoni pizza. I know I'm classy and I just get down like that, I guess. But yeah, we got married really early. I think it was like 7 months into our relationship, 8 months. And a lot of people were very skeptical and you shouldn't do this. This is way too early. You're gonna get shipped off somewhere. And I got orders to Montana. So we moved to Montana for like a year and a half. And we struggled early on in our relationship there. I mean, we were 24 hours away from what we grew up in, our family, our friends. We really had to find out who each other was. We actually had to live with one another. Being in the military, and especially in Montana and being security police, they work you like a dog. I mean, you're out in the missile field, providing security for nuclear weapon silos, providing security for nuclear weapon transportation. I mean, it could be a day off and you'd get a call and you're like, hey, like we got an open hole to go sit for 24, 36 hours, in freezing cold Montana. So, these conditions and being a newlywed, there was a lot of challenges there. And just kind of started to get real depressed and kind of developed into a really bad drinking situation. And it caused a lot of problems in my marriage. I didn't really give her the attention that she needed and didn't realize it at the time, but I do now. Like, she gave up a whole lot, like marrying me early on, moving away that far from her family, from her friends. And, I kind of was thinking I was like a bachelor, be out in the missile field for 5 days, come home, learn to go play ball with the guys, come home, have a couple brewskis, and it was almost like we're passing one another all the time. So we struggled on really, really, really bad in that part of our life. Like, we both said that we were Christians, but neither one of us lived by it. Again, I'd hate to be that outside eye looking in, because we gave a really bad perception of Christianity. And, just going to work on a daily basis, kind of just got into a routine. And then one morning we had got a call like 2:30 in the morning after already a long day working. And there's like, hey, y'all need to go sit at open hole, 6 hours away. So we'd go arm up, get our weapons on us, load the Humvees up, and on the way to a missile silo, I was in the back and I just passed out. I was tired. I'm going to sleep on the way to the site. And Humvees are made to take bullets. They're not really made to withstand a head-on collision or a Humvee roll. And the driver was going downhill, going extremely too fast for that weight of the vehicle, and he swerved and just hurt a deer, and we just started flipping. And apparently I didn't have my seatbelt on. I don't remember any of this, by the way, but he swerved to miss the deer, we started flipping, I got ejected off the side. And initially, after everybody got their bearings together, kind of figured out, make sure their stuff was okay, there's like, oh crud, like, where's Williams at? They're looking for me, just kind of blended in with the grass and stuff, and finally they found me, and they thought I was dead. Pretty much I was like gasping for breath, like violently breathing, because whenever you have a spinal cord injury, especially in your cervical area, which is your neck, that's all controls a lot of your body, all the nerves in your body. And I fractured my C4 through C6, and once they got contact with the base, they sent a helicopter there to come Metaflight me to the closest city nearby, which is in Great Falls, Montana. They got me there, got me stable. They called my wife, and initially they told her that, hey, your husband's dead. And I just can't even imagine being in her shoes and receiving that kind of phone call about your significant other. And, eventually they called me back a little bit later and said, oh, okay, never mind, it's okay, he's stable. We got him getting ready to go into surgery, and we come up here and see him. And they called in the military called in a doctor from, I believe, Ohio. He was a neurosurgeon, like one of the top neurosurgeons in the country. So he flew to Great Falls, Montana, and did my surgery, repairing my spine and my neck. And as of right now, I have 2 parallel metal bars running from my C4 through my just right through the top of my shoulder blades. And the surgery took like 8 or 9 hours. You know, I remember waking up 3 weeks later because they said that I was in so much pain they put me in a medically induced coma that I don't remember any of it. And when I woke up, I saw a lot of family members around my bed that I was like, okay, something ain't right, because, you know, I come from a separated family and both sides don't really get along, and I could just think in my head like, oh, like something really bad must have happened. So, you know, they kind of gave me the rundown of what my future would hold. My surgeon that did my doctor was very, very into science, and he's an atheist. He didn't believe in God, and he told my family, my wife, you know, this is what you see, this is what you get, pretty much. Like, he's never gonna be able to breathe again. He's never gonna be able to move his arms. He's gonna be probably bedbound, wheelchair bound the rest of his life. And you know, he pretty much said, whatever you believe in, you know, go ahead and believe in it, I guess. But this is what I'm telling you, so then I'll pass it off to you, brother.
So, to this point, you've heard two different stories of how our military careers ended. It was actually kind of close to each other in terms of time as well. One due to bad decisions and one due to a freak accident. But at that point, we both had to continue life and get through it. You know, TJ's situation is one of the rare situations that many people just won't ever experience, you know. So there's no way I can compare to what he's gone through. You know, I'm just gonna continue to tell my story. But after my plane landed at Will Rogers in the city, my mom and my grandma picked me up. And at that point, that's when it really set in. That's like when I really woke up. You know, that's when I really realized that this was my wake up moment. You know, I was on a path that was gonna just lead me into continued negativity in my life. So at that point, that's when I started making the decision to change my behavior and change the way I was conducting myself throughout life. So I don't know if it was due to aggression or just being upset with myself or what, but I immediately enrolled in school. You know, I started taking 20 credits a month after I got home. Was not the smartest decision because that was a lot to handle at the time, and my performance suffered. And it was about halfway through that first semester is when I actually was told, you know, I got the call, they told me TJ died, just like he said, they told Hope, that spread really fast. You know, so I'm actually about to go into class when I get the news, and, you know, I'm pretty shook up. You know, this is like basically my best friend at the time, and I've never been through anything like that. So I go into class and everybody's asking me, you know, Gage, what's wrong? Gage, what's wrong? And I make about 10 minutes before I have to leave, you know, I'm in tears, and I have to go to my family's house, and I'm just crying to them, you know, I think he just died. You know, if something came over me, I jumped in my car and started going a lot into his mom's house because that's where we would spend the night with each other, all that, we was partying. And I get about halfway there, and I think my mom called me saying, Gage, she's already gone, she already went to Montana, you know. But that definitely was a life-changing moment for me, and definitely for TJ and Hope. So I just thank you for being here today. One good thing that came out of Italy was that I was able to meet Kaylee, you know, my now fiance/wife, however you want to look at it. And the decision was made after we went to Montana to visit TJ after his accident that I was going to move to Ohio, you know, continue school there. So I get there, Kaylee has everything set up. You know, she has her apartment fully decked out, 32-inch TV, a pallet on the floor made out of blankets and pillows. You know, we had really nothing. We started at square one. I'm going to school full-time, she's working full-time, and going to school full-time. You know, we're struggling to get by, struggling to figure out how we're going to, you know, pay bills. Really just build this foundation together. And then I'm finally going to get a job as an EMT in downtown Cleveland. You know, we start adding stuff to our house, you know, start furnishing it. And it was around that time that we found out that we're also going to be adding a baby to that mix. You know, we're 20 at the time, I think it was 21 when we actually had him. So at that point, it wasn't just about me, it wasn't just about Kaylee. We had to realize to ourselves how we're going to take care of this extra life. You know, coming off of the back of so much turmoil in my life, thinking about having to take care of another life form was just a lot of pressure at that time. But it really just flipped the switch kind of. You know, at that point, it's like, okay, childhood's done. It's time to do what it takes to be an adult. You know, at that point, that was literally when all the bad decisions that I was making, like 100% stopped. You know, after the military, I would make bad decisions here and there, but it was after that they really stopped. So I got home July 3rd, 2012 from the military, and on October 7th, 2014, just a little over 2 years later, I got accepted into the University of Oklahoma College of Pharmacy doctorate program. And the only thing I kept thinking was that last exchange that I had with Base Commander, you know, kind of like validating myself. And at that point, me and Kaylee were ecstatic. You know, we thought we made it. We thought all the hard work's behind us, but as with life, that's when everything started. You know, everything else before that was child's play. All the hardship and trials and tribulations and everything like that came next. But we didn't think we made it at that point in time. So we moved back to Oklahoma to begin my studies, and then I'll pass it back to TJ.
Alright, so I kind of left y'all with a cliffhanger about, you know, waking up initially from my surgery and being in a medically induced coma. You know, my family was all there, and, you know, told you what the doctor said. And it was time, once I was stable, to start into an inpatient rehab. You know, learning my new body, the do's, the don'ts, you know, what I can withstand. Being a quadriplegic there's a lot of medical stuff that goes on. A lot of nurses, a lot of doctor's visits all the time, make sure you're healthy. And they kind of sit down, the military sat down with my family, my wife, and was like, okay, here's the game plan. And they pretty much said, you know, the closest place to where your family's at, Oklahoma, we suggest that San Antonio, Texas would be, you know, the best place. You know, they had doctors, spinal cord doctors, which is not very many of them in the country. And San Antonio had like 2, I believe, at the VA in San Antonio. So this is where I really begin to really feel the hand of God in my life. There's a lot of people that came together to raise money to help my wife at the time, because pretty much packed up 2 suitcases and flew to San Antonio. You know, they unloaded me, got me into the VA there, began learning how to live this new life I've been presented. You know, doing my physical therapy, and she pretty much was right there on my bed the whole time. And we had family come down periodically to check on us, make sure we're good, have family watch our dogs while we're gone. And you know, I feel like I was in denial for that first initial stage of being in my inpatient rehab. I was like, man, I'm gonna bounce back from this, you know, I'm gonna be up walking, I'm gonna be back playing ball again, shooting threes, backing people down, using my left hand, as my dad would always cheer me on from the stands. But it wasn't like that. Like, I don't know. I felt like people were there to encourage me to be uplifting, you know, other veterans that had suffered similar injuries to me, that were in wheelchairs, you know, 20, 30 plus years. You know, they kind of forewarned me about like the life ahead. Like look, life's gonna be a lot different. It's gonna be challenging, but also you can share your story and help other wounded warriors like yourself try to figure out their place in life. So it was through this time that, you know, living on Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, once I got out of my inpatient rehab and, you know, started going through my medical boards to get retired out of the military, that I became just really angry with God. Like, I just remember laying in bed at night, just wrestling with Him, talking with him, thinking, what was my life now? Like, what's it gonna look like? I mean, what is my purpose? Is it to just sit here in this chair the rest of my life and do nothing? I always have concerns like, is my wife gonna stay with me? Because it is challenging. And then, I don't know, since I didn't really lean on my faith, I kind of leaned on guys don't think my name whenever I tell you this, but I leaned on my Yorkie, my little dog, little 12, 13-pound dog, is what I leaned on. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for that dog, I don't know where I would have been, because, I don't know how many times I just asked my wife, let me just sit here and lay in bed all day, let me just get my pain meds, let me numb this pain for a short-term being, and it's just, it was tough, and then once I went through my med boards and moved back to Oklahoma, me and my wife both thought that everything would be just fine, but that wasn't the case either. Like, I was always sick being here, like I always had UTI after UTI, the neuro doctor in Oklahoma City VA, I just felt like they weren't very knowledgeable about, quadriplegics and the issues that come with it. We had our family here, and they did the best they could to try to help us through, help us get settled into our house, come by quite often and check on us to see our mental state. But outside of that, we really had no community. We didn't see people on a regular basis. Both of us really struggled in our faith. And then we finally just got to the point where we're gonna have to move back, because all my care was falling on my wife, and I was like, I don't want this to be my marriage. I don't want my wife to be my caretaker 24/7 and have that burden put on her. So then we decided to move back to San Antonio and call San Antonio home. And it was at that time when we moved back, I remember getting there and I was like, okay, we're gonna do things different this time. And I just really wanted to lean on my faith this time and find a church and church community and, get involved in a small group. So by the grace of God, my spinal cord doctor at this time went to the church that we currently go to now, and she got us set up with one of the guys I highly look up to, who was my life group leader for 3 years, and with him and in that life group, small group being modeled after Jesus and his disciples, that I felt the calling to go into ministry myself. Not necessarily to be a quote-unquote pastor and to lead a church, but, better my spiritual health, better my wife's spiritual health, build my story that I have, because I feel like God's given me this platform. He kept me alive for a reason, so I need to glorify his name and praise his name through this card I've been dealt. And so shortly after we got involved in that life group, I started going to school online for ministry, and initially it was pretty challenging getting all this new equipment and software to help me go to school, since I can't use my hands. Everything's through voice commands, eye-gazing technology. And so, going through the school process, I felt like my faith was building, and then me and my wife had talked about wanting to start a family, and knew that it was gonna be a medical process, from my end, and come to find out through that stage of getting everything set up that she had fertility issues too. So we were gonna have to do fertility treatments, and if you look up on Google, one of the most challenging things for a couple to go through is, one, of course, having a loved one or a family pass away, but two is, being presented the challenge of possibly not being able to have children. So, by the grace of God, we went through our pricks, our pokes, our prongs, and, by the grace of God, I got pregnant, and, welcomed our baby boy this last October. We named him Hudson Lee Williams. I don't know where my wife is at right now. There she is right there. She's got me knocked out right now in a milk coma. But yeah, I mean, here I am today, and I feel like me and my wife both have a testimony that needs to be shared. And my closing statement, I would really like to leave y'all a verse that has really resonated to me and that I've kind of lived by through my injury and through our season of infertility. And it is in Romans 5:3-5. We can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they help us develop endurance. And endurance strengthens our confident hope of salvation. Oh, I got that messed up. And endurance develops strength of character, and character strengthens our confident hope of salvation. And this hope will not lead to disappointment, for we know how dearly God loves us, because He's given us the Holy Spirit to fill our hearts with His love. I just really wanted to share my testimony with you guys today and let y'all know that, outside the walls of this school, you're going to face hardships. There's not going to be one of you in this room that's not going to have something go wrong in your life. It'll ultimately develop you in being a better person, so you got to weather that storm. But when you come out of it, I believe it'll help you build your integrity. And along that way, you can really encourage others if you as well share your story.
Alright, so I left you guys with me getting into pharmacy school, and we thought that we made it. But the last 4 years have actually probably been the most trying 4 years out of being discharged and my upbringing and everything like that. I'm not going to go into any details about my brother's accident. That's his story to tell, not mine. But long story short, he was in a motor vehicle accident my first semester. He was actually staying with us at the time. It was my car. I pulled up on the accident about 30 minutes later. This was 2 days before my first round of finals. I had 6 finals that week, first semester. And that Monday morning, I'm in the student affairs office, just crying my eyes out, trying to explain to them what happened, just in case I go in there and fail some of these tests. So I walk out, I knew we had to get in line to go in there and take that test, and, be able to get through that semester, go without a car for a pretty long time. We're sharing 2 cars between 3 people, and then finally we're able to get a car. And then I'm preparing for a presentation, getting ready to go to a presentation. My mom walks in because she watches my kids, and she's like, "Gage, where's your car at?" I was like, "It's outside." She's like, "No, it's not." So I go look, sure enough, my car's gone. My brand new car I just got, I had it for a couple months, it's stolen. Come to find out it was stolen by a heroin addict. They ran from the cops, they wrecked it. That's just some of the type of things that we've been through in the past 4 years. I think I counted it on the way over here, 7 funerals between me and Kaylee's family and friends, more court dates than I would like to remember. But through all that, one thing remained constant was my motivation and my family's perseverance to get through it. And as TJ said, throughout your lives, you're going to experience things nobody in here will live like a scotch-free life, so to speak. Some of you might not have experienced some bad things yet, and some people have, but throughout your life, you're going to experience some things that either make you or break you. It's how you respond to those moments that's going to determine who you're going to be. Everything you experience to this point doesn't really matter once you get outside of these walls, because you're starting with a clean slate. From that point, it basically is on your shoulders of what you want to make of yourself, what you want your life to be. And do you want it to be the same type of stuff that you're used to seeing, or do you want it to be exactly what you envision for yourself and for your future family? So I just hope y'all really keyed into the wake-up moment that I was talking about, because once you have your wake-up moment, which most of you probably will, could be big, could be small, but it's going to be how you respond to that. That's ultimately going to be the determining factor for who you are. And through all my adversity, valedictorian of the University of Oklahoma Doctor of Pharmacy program. And then I also graduated with my master's in business from FSU this December as well. I have a beautiful, healthy family. My daughter, who we had about a year and a half ago. My son,